turn on the microphones. Get it all nice and gravy. Mm-mm-mm. Let's see. What is everybody doing today? Actually, let me hear your levels real quick.
Hold up, let me fix my headset because my mic's not quite where it should be. I
I really gotta start playing our theme music on here. We have a song. It's called Funky Mario. So, I should get you to listen to that. Just be like, I don't know if that's funky enough. Taryn says, drop that beat. Maybe.
Nice.
All right. Well, howdy, folks. It's State of the Nerd Union. We're coming in live from Steve's apartment and my home again. Not the not the chaos that I caused last time. I swear, people, I'm trying.
The Twilight Zone.
You know what I found out? And this will make everyone hate Comcast more. Not that you need more reasons to hate Comcast.
Is that they're throttling you? Because yes, they're throttling you.
Well, it's not. It's worse. So I found out my parents are paying $70 for their monthly internet to get 20 megs. They were charging my parents $70 to get 20 megs. So I was doing the speed
bonkers.
Yeah, I was doing the speed test, thinking, okay, I know because my brother set up their because the house kind of has some dead spots, so he set up some like an extender. So I thought, okay, maybe the bandwidth is getting, maybe it's getting pulled a little bit from the Wi-Fi router. Maybe that's possibly it. Maybe that's it. But no, I turned them all off. Still did a speed test, barely getting 20, and I'm like, that's not.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, quickly found them some better options in the area. I can't believe I'm saying AT&T is the better option in the area, but AT&T had fiber, and AT&T would give you $40 for 300 megs of fiber. Easily like a much easier decision. So it's like not even a question there. So hopefully, if I travel to see my parents again and have to do a show, we won't have that problem. But hey, y'all had a good time with Jerry and Steve. It's also good to see Jerry again.
Always, yeah. Always.
And I promise the Magica news reading will happen just when it's not E3. Because
I was like, this is probably a little bit more important than a video game gimmick.
Although I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's gonna be hilarious. And also, I just would be down to play Magica if we had time later this week. So if we're just like, hey, I want to play some Magica, that'd be good because I need to get better at the combinations. Or just
it's a lot of fun. I also was able to get my hands on a definitely legally acquired copy of PC runnable Kirby's Air Ride.
All right, gotcha. Taryn is saying they're hearing an echo. Let me see. Could be. Dang, Taryn, I don't know. Shoot.
Oh, whoa, now I'm hearing it. That's weird.
Oh, it got worse?
Yep.
Good lord. Wait, I don't have the stream up, do I? No.
Do you? Is your audio coming through your computer speakers and your headphones?
Should just be the speakers.
Are
Or
you
sorry,
sure?
should just be my headset, but I'll just make sure I turn down. All right. Marjorie doesn't get echo. All right, I'm just going. I'm gonna keep going. All right, but we are gonna rapid fire the other news topics so that we can get to E3 news.
Pop.
So, and I whittled a lot of the movie news out of this because me and Tom will handle that later this week. Also, I get to see Tom this week. I haven't got to see Tom in a long time. So, we joked about our Fast and Furious marathon. I don't think we really want to watch that many Fast and Furious movies on second thought. So, probably just going to do one or two. Shoot our commentary.
No, Kenny. What you do is you expedite it and you watch all of them at the same time.
Okay, because that'd be fun. Uh,
Perfect.
Perfect. Marjorie says that shit's hard. Oh, Magica? Yeah. Well, I mean, but there really is no penalty. Unless I don't know what we had the settings on. So it's like, there really wasn't a penalty for, like, screwing up yet. Unless
Oh
I'm
yeah,
like,
no, not really. I mean, you just restart from the checkpoint or whatever, and you just memorize the revive spell.
all
But yeah,
right.
it's a lot more complicated than there's another game that Marge and I both play called Nine Parchments, which is a lot more approachable of a magic casting adventure game. But I like the complexity in Magica, even if I often die because of my obstinate desire to do complicated spells, needlessly complicated spells, mind you.
Gotta wreck him with that wild stuff. Like, I didn't know he could. I never knew he could cast that. I didn't know. All right. So we're gonna get into the quick bits, and starting with Disney's new darling Loki has dominated Disney Plus, according to Disney CEO Bob Chapek. It is the number one premiere for a movie or show on this platform since its existence. So, as much as you might be a Mandalorian fan, or WandaVision, or Falcon and Winter Soldier, or any of the movies that have premiered on Disney Plus, Loki has apparently beaten them all. We
He
have
is a god.
He's burdened with glorious purpose. Of course, he was going to be able to win the hearts and minds of everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but yeah, I'm excited. I like the first episode. We are talking about that tonight on the Quorum. Actually, Darren, if you get a moment, post that in Discord. Remind folks that it's today. Dang it. Let's see. And Loki was on a Tuesday, Wednesday, and during the summer when people were starting to get back out and do things. So that's also surprising. I really would have thought people would have done other things. But all right.
Moving on. In the Heights is off to a slow start as the summer box office kind of wanes. Samba TV reported that 690,000 households based on smart TV data. And while it's a $11.5 million theater debut came in second to Quiet Place's $12 million after 3 weeks at the box office. So things aren't popping off, but we kind of knew that was going to happen. People are real, what's the word I'm looking for? Tentative about going back out and sitting in the movie theater for, somewhere around an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5 hours around other people. It's like you want to eat popcorn, just don't want to take your mask off. This is real. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
That said, In the Heights is like I saw it live on Broadway. Like I'm gonna go. Well, I might not go to the theater to see it, but I'm gonna watch it. I highly recommend you do. It looks like they really did a good job of capturing the magic of being there in Broadway with different actors and vocalists and so forth. But it sounds phenomenal. So check it out.
Yeah. There's I've been getting some messages about the colorism issues, so I'm definitely gonna cover that on Super Blurb this week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I need to finish it. For what I watched of it, I really liked. So it definitely has that Broadway appeal. And then I never got to see the Broadway play myself. So maybe I'll chime in on that a little bit more on Commander Ship Show.
Mm-hmm.
All right. For Universal Orlando fans, you may remember that the original Spider-Man ride before the Marvel's Avengers Campus was on Universal Studios, and one fan was it? Yeah, I lost my. Dang it, lost my spot. Patrick, Twitter user Patrick Dougal attempted to use his Avengers Campus Spidey web slinger at Universal, and jokingly told Universal, "Hey, it doesn't work." To which Universal replied, "Try eBay, or go sell your web slinger, because it doesn't belong." But all in jest, and a lot of Twitter users had a lot of fun, reminiscing about the old, I guess still current, so you can still ride it, but had fond memories of that Spider-Man ride compared to the Avengers ride. So nice little fun there.
I love that Spider-Man ride. I probably when I went to Universal, I probably rode that thing like 2 or 3 times back to back. As opposed to like the 15 times I rode the Mummy ride back to back. That ride slaps.
There you go.
So yeah, Chris Hemsworth had fun at Chris Evans's expense on his 40th birthday. There's a lot of Chris violence here. No, I'm kidding. This past weekend's Chris Evans celebrated his 40th birthday, and Hemsworth took to Twitter and congratulated Chris Pratt instead. Happy birthday, Chris! You'll always be number one in my book.
That's just so good.
Gotta love it.
Gotta love it. All right, and our next segment for the Cinephiles. Again, we're keeping this one short because me and Tom will cover more of it. So we're just getting some announcements that came out recently. Jessica Henwick, if you remember her from Iron Fist, and not just got cast, but has been rumored as a cast member for The Matrix 4. Is joining the star-studded cast of Knives Out 2, Daniel Craig, and they just keep announcing more and more stars of it. So that movie's going to be bonkers.
Bonkers is a good description. Additionally, Black Widow will be available for free on Disney Plus, starting after 90 days after the theater window. So if you're willing to wait, you get to watch it for free. But if you're not and you don't want to, for me, the what's it called? The courtesy length for not discussing a film online is probably about a month, and it definitely ain't 90 days.
Yeah,
so
definitely ain't 90 days.
But if you're probably willing to wait and you don't want to pay, then you probably don't care about spoilers either. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let's see what is coming, and I guess that Premiere Access is working well for him, but we can talk about that more another time. And finally, I was about to say Scarlett Olsen. That is not their name. Elizabeth Olsen,
Close.
playing the Scarlet Witch in the MCU, talked about their short turnaround from doing WandaVision into Doctor Strange. Also confirmed that they have finished wrapping finished their shoot for Doctor Strange 2. Saying on an interview with Kelly Cuoco, that's what they were shooting in the UK. So they finished WandaVision. It was October. They had 2 months during the pandemic, and luckily, even though we filmed in Atlanta and didn't move to LA, we had a lot of the same crew, so the masks didn't feel as awkward. There was still a fun spirit, and I think we were just so excited to finish the show. I think we already worked about 5 months on it. It was just a long job, so we're really excited to finish it. And it wrapped up in October on a Wednesday. They flew me to London on the Friday, and I've been doing the same character for like 2 years almost. All right. That's a lot, Elizabeth, but it is much appreciated.
Yep. All right. We're
Brian
gonna.
Nathanson, thank you for liking the stream. We appreciate it.
Hey. Thanks. Sliding up into the next segment, we got Check the Tech. Google Meet is adding a second screen companion mode to the video conferencing app. So companion mode is designed to seamlessly connect those in the room with their remote teammates. This is a big quote. Giving everyone advanced features to participate while leveraging the best of in-room audio and video conferencing capabilities. On the web, you'll be able to send messages, call video participants, take Q&As/polls, raise your hand for questions. Some second screen experiences will also be available on the Nest Hub Max, which I'm not that familiar with. It's
like a big ass tablet that has.
Oh, okay.
Google
Yeah. That's the management tool. Folks who are in the same meeting room together will be able to enable companion mode on their personal devices, giving them their own video tile in Meet, and allowing them to stay connected with their remote teammates. So basically, you have this secondary tool that's kind of coming down to help you do your conferencing stuff remotely, which sounds pretty neat. This sounds like something that is definitely going to be valuable going forward, because I feel like the work from home business has kind of shifted the way that we're going to work forever. In that, companies, if my company was in a position, for example, like I think we were at the start of the pandemic, we were 95% able to work from home all the time. So it was a real minor jump. But for other companies that weren't at all close to being able to work from home. They've already laid the groundwork so that they can do it. So, that's not going to go away. That's basically, the rent payment for them buying a building. Instead of that, they're, paying for so everybody can work from home remotely and stay safe and all that stuff. And, rather than go to the office and pretend to do anything on a Friday, now you can do it from home.
I was going to say, the other thing is that their suite of workplace tools are opening up to the public, which is a pretty interesting development. But it also sounds like The Verge did a really good write-up on it. I included some notes on it in our show notes. But we'll basically to summarize, it seems like a big Slack Discord competitor because there's a lot of chat options that you see sometimes in like your Meet and your Hangouts that they've had natively on their workspace apps for the enterprise users that now anyone would be able to use on their own. So you don't necessarily have to be a business to do that. So that sounds a lot like offering that free version of Slack, the free versions of Discord where you're not paying for the Nitro boost and things like that. It's like just getting people.
You gotta get the user base in there, and so you gotta put it out there as cheaply as possible.
Yeah. All right. Yo fingerprints. Yo fingerprints.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. In a lawsuit between Texas-based Six Flags, although Six Flags is obviously across the nation here in the U.S., but specifically Six Flags Great America and Illinois just settled a class action lawsuit agreeing to pay over $36 million over the use of fingerprint scanners at its Illinois theme park. Now, while Six Flags claimed they didn't do anything with the biometric data, the court ruled that just because you did not do anything with it, you did not give proper information to people of what they were doing, even collecting those fingerprints. So, that's But yeah, anyone that actually, let me give it. This might be useful for some of our for our listeners. Anyone who visited the Gurney Park, Illinois location between October 2013 and December 31st, 2018 could get up to $200 each, as reported by the Chicago Tribune. So yeah, if that's the Six Flags that you visit, and I know some folks are Midwest listeners on this, that might be applicable to you. So definitely go check that out. And for some folks that are wondering, that could be employees, that could be some of the turnstiles that they had, and some of the bracelet issuing stations there at the theme park.
Yeah, man, they're hustling real hard to stop anybody from using those like season passes or whatever. Like they don't want you bringing nobody. It's like, nope, I don't care if you paid $5. No, you can't bring your cousin. It's like, I need you to, if your little kid wants to come, like they need to put their fingerprint on this joint and only they could use it. It's a very robust system. It's kind of a pain.
All right. And then the last one, I don't know how much I gave you notes on that, so if I need to,
I'll let you hit it. Go for it.
So Apple, I was about to say Google, but Google probably does this too. We just had gotten into them. Ranked their own apps over competitors. Color me shocked.
Gasp.
I just assumed you did that anyway. So if you don't remember, way back when the show started, back last year, we were talking about Epic Store versus the Apple Store. And those lawsuits have continued to just give us treasure troves of information about Apple's operating procedures. And The Verge did a fantastic write-up of this. I'll provide a link. So they're doing really good work over here about these about this issue, and they've been tracking this pretty well. And in the court documents, it does show that their search engine team recognized this as a problem and was actually upset and was like trying to address it. So it's to give, and like The Verge does in their article, to give them credit, they did not once they discovered the problem, they did immediately try to address it. Right now, their answer is a little unsatisfactory. So, for example, one of the examples used is Dropbox, and because that Dropbox integration between it and the Apple cloud storage, they said that is what aggregated theirs to the top because of that association with Dropbox. I mean, maybe, or maybe you didn't.
I mean, that makes sense though. So from a user perspective, like everybody, like the Apple Store is for people who have Apple products.
Right.
people like customers will likely highly rate anything higher that already integrates with their phone's technology implicitly. Uh,
Sure.
those technologies that already integrate with their existing phone are likely to be other products by the people who made their phone. So from a
I mean, yeah, from a
usage perspective, like it makes logical sense of why would this show up at the top? Because the highest rated stuff shows up at the top. The highest rated stuff tends to be the things that are easiest to use. What's easiest to use? The things that already integrate with the technology I already have. So, it seems sus on the surface, but like it does scan. Like it makes sense. Even like even if they aren't doing the Google thing where they take their stuff and throw it up above everybody else's results, even if they're not doing that, like it does make sense, especially given that the store isn't a global phone store, it's just the Apple store.
yeah.
So it makes sense.
And for the Twitch listeners and watchers, I just posted it on our Twitch stream. And if Taryn, you're there, if you got an opportunity to grab that and throw it on the Facebook page for us, or the Facebook stream, very much appreciate that.
Oh, I got you.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Word.
Although I'm moving so slow, Taryn might beat me there. There we go. All right.
I definitely think that's worth a read, folks. I think that's really good. They just, I like the Verge. They do some good work over there.
Yeah, it's really important that like you, especially now, given how many things consume your data, and the battles that are going on between really large companies and so forth. You really got to stay abreast of the issue, because if you don't, then you're going to end up in a climate where there's only one big person around and they can charge you whatever they want. So keep your eyes open, keep your ears open.
All right. Well, normally before Check the Tech, we would have had our game segment. Game time.
Game time is the main time because it's E3, people.
Yes, it's the most one aside from actually getting games that on their release date. It's probably the most wonderful day to be a gamer. And
I would say Steam sales are probably the most wonderful day to be a gamer.
All right, then we'll do Steam sales, release dates.
It's a very close second. Steam sales, games getting released when they say they're going to get released, and then E3.
Yeah. But I have to admit, and if folks are wondering, like, why weren't we covering it during the weekend? I really wasn't tracking on E3 this year. I have to admit. So I apologize if you're like, we wanted you to cover. It's like, I just wasn't thinking about it because so much of it was going to be online anyway that I was like, I'll just catch it. Like,
I mean, the thing is, it's videos, so it's like some of it's going to be live, and like some of that stuff goes on for like 10 hours. So unless you want to like dedicate your life to, and the other thing is, some of them are concurrent streams. So in order for us to talk about things completely, like we're going to talk about the Nintendo stuff, which is still going on and happening as we speak. Like we need digestion time to go through and munch on stuff. So that's why we decided to delay it a bit, because if we did it yesterday, which was regular stream time, then it's like there's only been one thing. Yeah,
we would have had to come right back.
And it's like, oh wait, BT dubs.
All right. And also, if you're wondering, like, some of y'all might have seen my Nintendo stream this morning, or I did include video of it. I probably said it a bunch of times in the video if you've watched it. So they didn't want people restreaming theirs, which
Makes
normally
sense.
You can do that with Direct. So not sure.
I guess it's because they're literally doing it right now, so they don't want you streaming it.
I mean, but I thought. All right, so let's go ahead and bust that bubble. I know I put some things in order on there, but let's go ahead and bust this bubble. I thought they didn't want us to show it because they were going to announce the Pro. I thought when I heard that on the email, I was like, no, we don't want people to stream it. And then Twitch sent stuff out to streamers like, hey, even though they're going to let us do it, actually, and I actually kind of respect Twitch for doing this. They're like, yeah, they're going to let Twitch Gaming, the main Twitch account, stream, but we're not going to do that because y'all aren't allowed to do it, so we're just not gonna do it. I'm like,
that's cool.
All right, cool.
Mad respect. Because it's
but
like, their whole portal is gaming. So how it's gonna look if they were like, so yeah, we're gonna do the thing that
y'all ain't
you
getting.
guys aren't allowed to, and it's like, nah, it's like that feels disrespectful. Let's just not do it.
But then it's like, but then the Switch Pro didn't come out, and I'm like, uh, uh, but then what was the? Then why Nintendo? Why?
Oh, me sitting over here as I watch streams from like weeks ago when I talk about how a pro Switch doesn't seem like the best choice for Nintendo right now. It's like it would be cool to have one, but at the same time, I feel like it feels better to be right than to have a Nintendo Switch Pro. That's all the Nintendo Switch Pro I needed was just being right.
Just being right. It can still come out, Steve.
It still can, but there's a they're printing money right now. All Nintendo needs to do to print money forever is just release games that they've already made, which, as we'll get into, is something that we're getting in addition to a whole bunch of new stuff. But
yeah, for sure. All right. I don't want to spend a lot of time on Ubisoft because I think you and me are both on the same page. They're kind of pissing me off. We're just there. Yeah. I will say the villains DLC for Far Cry 6, I thought was very interesting that you'll be able to play as the villains throughout the series and the first time. So those are also, I actually really excited for Giancarlo Esposito's character in Far Cry 6. So knowing that you'll eventually be able to turn around and then play as him in the upcoming games and DLC, it's also really cool. And also they've discounted Far Cry 3, 4, and 5 to like, I think it was $3, $6, and $9. So if you want to go play those on PC for extremely cheap, you can go do that right now to get back through. It's probably the best part of the series. A lot of people don't remember Far Cry 1 and 2 back on Xbox. Yeah, just start Far Cry 3 and you're good. Not that you need to know the story between all those, but just start at 3. Like,
just start playing games.
Yeah. And then Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. Honestly, the only reason I even want to bring this up is because it's the only one that's coming out this year, which I thought was a surprise. And
Pop.
Or sorry, I apologize. Next year. It's coming out next year.
Pop.
But it's like it actually has a release date for a property from Avatar. And you know how long they've been saying we're gonna get an Avatar 2, and then it's gonna be 4 or 5 more movies. So we're getting. I just want you to sink in. We're getting a game of the franchise before we ever get another movie on it.
I mean, maybe they should have made a game concerning the Avatar universe like 10 years ago when anybody gave a damn.
That's also true. Well, I think a lot of people like that Pandora experience.
Oh yeah, to be fair, I do really. I don't know how much I like the Pandora world so much as I respect the amount of effort that went into creating it. And I like talking about how effortful it was more than my general being impressed about its design or implementation or anything like that.
Yeah. All right, so that will move us to Sony. And we don't actually have Sony announcements. Why is that, Steve?
They're just like, nah, we good. We gave you the PS5. What else do you want?
Now, to be fair, Sony will be putting out their own separate. They'll have another state of play. So that's kind of like in the same way that Nintendo has their Nintendo Directs. Sony's going to cover theirs in a longer state of play. I forget exactly when the date of that's going to be. It is coming. Yeah,
Devolver does the same thing. But they got kicked out of E3 back in 2017, I want to say. So they kind of do their own thing. They don't do their it's interesting. Go watch the Devolver, I don't really know what that's called, presentation back from 2017 where they killed all those people, and you'll see why they got kicked out of E3, and they've been doing their own thing ever since.
Oof. So
It's very funny though.
gotcha. I will check that out. But yeah, we'll get
Ooh,
more
but I
Sony later because I've already seen people say that Sony lost E3. I'm like, how do you lose a thing that you didn't
you lose a game you
show
didn't
up
show
to?
up to.
And then it's like people are already doing the game counts between like, oh, Microsoft announced this many. I'm like, just
It's like just sit tight.
like do I think Microsoft had a really good showing? It's also a segue into the next thing. I do think Microsoft had a really good showing, but it's also like in context, like Sony will probably come out like I think it'd be good for both of them. Sony will get theirs
hmm
out, and
And
Microsoft
Jack and
just gets
Daxter
the
4.
yeah, which is imminent,
hmm
or it's already is it already out, or is it this week, or is it tomorrow?
Jack and Daxter 4. We're gonna get a Jack and Daxter movie, um, and I don't know. I need a rule of threes for comedy, Kenny. I don't know what a third thing is that anybody would care about. A Jack and
I was about to
Daxter
say.
Switch release. There you go. Jack and Daxter 1, 2, 3 on the Switch. Yep.
In a defying move, Nintendo swept in and just bought the entire Jack and Daxter franchise. Like, what?
Jack and Daxter in Smash. Let's.
Also, I'm totally wondering now that Kakarot is getting ported to the. Oh, that's something I forgot for Nintendo. But Kakarot's getting ported to
Yeah.
Switch, and curious if we might get a Smash appearance.
Oh, that'd be good. I actually like the idea of Smash on Smash on Switch. Dragon Ball Kakarot on the Switch. For those who played, what was it? I think when they brought Budokai Tenkaichi or one of those Dragon Ball games to the Wii, like it was the way to play Dragon Ball because like you had to like do a Kamehameha wave and hold the nunchuck and the Wiimote or whatever to actually do it, and you could shoot key blasts and other stuff. Like it was like the most fun way to play a Dragon Ball fighting game. So if they do something like that with the motion controls for the Switch, I think that'd be pretty great. So they didn't get into that too much, or at least if they did, I didn't see it. But yeah.
Well, when we jump into the Microsoft announcements, I got to start with the second elephant in the room because if you remember, Halo Infinite was going to be a launch title for the Xbox Series X, and then people said, "Nah, them graphics are whack, yo." And then 343 Studios or Industries was like, maybe you know what? We still got some things to work on it.
Oh, y'all thought this was the final build? Nah, that's the beta. Yep. It's coming out way later. Yep, long time.
Now, yeah, I really didn't think they looked that bad. I think there's some immediate things there's easily some tweaks that like in the lead up to that launch probably could have been fixed. But hey, I'll take some extra time. You know, if it helps the baked potato get cooked better, I'm fine with that.
Because it's slated to come out I think holiday 2021. Yeah.
But the biggest thing that stood out to me as a competitive Halo 5 player is something I was worried about. Is that as it seemed like they were going to pull back from some of the abilities from Halo 5, is that the multiplayer trailer that we got for Halo Infinite the gameplay still feels that fast. Now I know some players may not like that because it's like, well, we liked being kind of like the lumbering Spartan from the previous games, and then 5 sped it up too quickly. I'm like, yeah, but a lot of the community's already adjusted to it, so we've already kind of had that and done our time with that. So I feel like there's a good continuity there. Is them stuff going to play differently? Sure. But just like the speed looks, at least from what I can tell so far, obviously not having my hands on it, it looks like to be similar enough that it won't be like jarring going back to... Because if you ever go back and replay Halo 3, as much as I love Halo 3, it is slow. It is slow in comparison to Halo 5.
Yeah, and once you have that speed, it's hard to go back.
Yeah. So kudos to 343 for keeping that. And then there's a little story tidbit. And this is not really a spoiler, but because a lot of people have been wondering, like, all right, we know y'all didn't really like the story from Halo 5 and how that wrapped. And then it was clear with the first trailer for Halo 5 that this isn't. Well, what's going on? Where's Cortana? Where's all this stuff? So the new story trailer at least alludes to that this is not immediately after the ending of Halo 5. So I don't know if that's going to give them some wiggle room to like have some distance from what happened, or maybe just tell that story, to wrap that story in backfill on an Infinite, and then kind of continue Infinite going on its own direction. I don't know, but that could be a clever way to like kind of retcon or kind of like hand wave Halo 5 story a little bit while you're going on to do. It's like don't look at this thing.
Not important.
All
right. Redfall. Yeah, this was a game that, and myself included, everybody kind of thought that this was like, oh, this is going to be a new Elder Scrolls game, and we thought it was going to take place in, oh man, where is that location called? Where I can't remember what race of people it's from in Elder Scrolls, but there's another place that's like all deserty and whatnot that everybody's like, oh, it's got to be that. It's not. It's going to be a group of hunters with a variety of skills taking down vampires that are overrunning their town. It looks pretty interesting. Kenny, do you have any thoughts?
Yeah. I'm going to use the same piece of advice or not piece of advice, but the same observation when we talk about Rainbow Six Extraction. We see enemy types in here. We see like a lot of the character interactions of like how they're probably going to play together. So we see some stealth on the screen right now with the sniper. We just had the magic user, which is like she's able to like lift people up to different. She can like lift herself up with this really cool like purple psionic elevator animation, which is really cool. All of them were building guns, but all of them also have kind of their own, at least, I guess, traits. We've only really seen one use magic, with the exception of the other one that turns invisible. So I don't know if that is magic or not, or just a suit that they're wearing. I assume we'll figure that out later. And there definitely seemed to be like some normal folks running around with guns, countering them. Some just generic monsters that they fought, and then like the actual vampires. They were like floating around, doing their stuff. So
doing their vampire thing.
Yeah. I don't know. I'd like to see with actual gameplay, and I may
yeah.
I didn't get to check if that had actually been released because it's just the trailer we're showing y'all today. But this looks pretty cool. I'm down.
Yeah, it looks neat. I'm interested to see more at the very least. Yeah. Looking at the notes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You want to go? You want to take it?
So we've been hearing about Starfield for quite a bit, and we do have it confirmed that this Bethesda game is going to be a Xbox exclusive. It'll be coming out November 11th, 2022. So we still got about another year and a half.
Yeah, ish. Yeah. But yeah, or year and a quarter. Half quarter. Quarter half.
I don't know.
But yeah, it's a new game out of Bethesda that has nothing to do with Skyrim, or has nothing to do with Elder Scrolls, and has nothing to do with Fallout. So totally new ideas, new types of stuff. The fact that it comes out after Outer Worlds comes out makes it feel a little bit derivative. No, I'm kidding. Those things are definitely probably worked on in concurrency. So, but yeah, I'm interested to see more. Am I gonna buy an Xbox specifically to play this game? Maybe, but probably not though.
Oh, you thinking about it? I'm kidding.
Nah.
Separate note, since you mentioned Outer Worlds. Best E3 trailer, I think.
Oh yeah, by far. That was hilarious. The Outer Worlds 2 trailer is narrated by the professor from the first game. I forget what the character's name is, but he narrates what the trailer should consist of. He's doing it as the trailer plays. He's like, "Oh, next we need to have like a nice tranquil meadow," and it's like, but then suddenly, and for no obvious reason, it's interrupted by something terrifying. It's like a big monster-looking thing. Will he be in the game? Probably not. Say goodbye to him forever.
Suddenly, footsteps. People were running for no discernible reason.
Yeah, good trailer. It was good. And it's like, oh, do we have any actual gameplay to show? No. It's like the game's mostly not done. They haven't figured out what the main character is going to look like, but what they have figured out is the title, and then it shows you like Outer Worlds too.
So good.
Oh man.
Oh man, I know that I told y'all nothing about Starfield, but we just don't know.
Yeah, there's nothing to know about Starfield. It's just an announcement. It's like, yo, this game exists and it's coming out. And it's like, all right, cool.
I mean, we know it's
Tell me more later.
So we know it'll at least be some large RPG element with space. Probably.
Yeah. I'm a little concerned because the Bethesda that made, like the Elder Scrolls stuff and the Bethesda that made Fallout is not the same Bethesda that's making Starfield. So I am interested to see how the new blood performs under what I would consider to be standard temperature and pressure for them.
Yeah, very true. Let's see. Actually, and I'm going to take off. So last thing, two other big ones was Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl, but I did not get to pull the trailer for that. But I really loved the original Stalker, but and that one's been in a little bit of a production hell for a while. So to hear that that's actually on track to release is really cool.
Feels good, man. And then Flight Simulator.
Y'all laugh.
Coming.
But
I know it's a big market, but it's still a niche market. They do what they do very well, and they've been doing a really good job at it for a really long time. But Flight Simulator's coming to consoles July 27th. So real soon, actually.
very soon. All right.
And then we get to sink our teeth into my favorite part.
There's
There's
other Xbox announcements, folks, but some of them are from the other studios, so we'll get that covered in a little bit. Go ahead, Steve. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
Yeah. Nintendo! A friend of mine sent me a meme earlier where it's just like Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, yeah! Wednesday. Pretty much. So the yeah moment for me was the announcement of Metroid Dread. No Metroid Prime 4 news, which I'm disappointed about. If you recall, a couple of weeks ago, I was like, all I want is for them to say the words Metroid Prime 4. The day's not over, but they haven't done it yet, so I feel like they're probably not
say
going
the words.
I mean, I guess they did, but not in the context in which I wanted.
Yeah.
They did just acknowledge that they're not going to talk about it. But yeah, we did get a trailer for a new 2D Metroid game that's so far titled Metroid Dread. I feel like that's a working title. I hope it is. That features a giant robot looking thing, which would be on screen right around now. Mm-hmm. And it looks like you have some sort of like pursuit mechanic into the game where you're constantly being pursued by this giant robot who's hunting you down for whatever reason yet to be revealed.
Someone's knocking at my door.
Yep. Said is hunting you down for whatever reason. Maybe you're just an intruder, something. I don't know. I would have liked if they're gonna go with that hunting route for it to be a little bit more horror inspired. But Metroid Prime or Metroid series has been great at developing atmosphere for a really long time. So I'm not, while a horror angle might be neater for Pursuit, it would definitely be not of the style for Metroid. But they're really good at creating atmosphere and kind of making you feel like you're alone in space by yourself. So I'm interested to see how this one goes, and how this one feels and how it plays. But as they mentioned in the direct, it's been like over a decade since the last console 2D. Oh wait, no. Wait, has it been? It's been a long time since the last 2D Metroid game. This is the long point. So I'm happy to see them going this way. Um, should be good stuff. And I'll stall briefly because I can hear Kenny coming back before I jump on to the next thing. Kenny's back. All right, cool.
Sorry about that.
Yo, you're all good.
My postal person was they had a bunch of stuff dropped at the house yesterday. She was like, I don't think that's how it was supposed to happen. I was like, no, it wasn't. So trying to make sure I got my stuff, which is very nice.
It's all good.
Where
did you have any
Metroid?
I just wrapped it up. Did you have any thoughts that you wanted to share?
You know, I don't hate getting a 2D Metroid, but man, it's not what I want. But also, I know they're that team because they scrapped it and then redid it. So like, I have compassion there. Like, I do want you to put out a good Metroid because I'm just such a huge Metroid fan.
Mm-hmm.
This feels like Nintendo back when on the Wii, right after we got like Metroid Prime 3 Corruption, and we're like, well, surely we're gonna get some more Metroid, and they're like, Metroid Other M. And we're like, what? What is this? And it's like, I mean, it's fun, but that ain't what we.
Metroid the Other M had a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Development issues of artistic direction and kind of what they wanted the game to be. So it had its own problems.
Yeah. So I'm hoping we don't have that happen again, but I will try to remain optimistic. Continue.
Yep. So yeah, there's tons of stuff that's announced. Some of it is just like, yo, this game's coming out. Like, some big stuff. We got announcement of the next character that's coming out in Smash Brothers. Kazuya from Tekken is going to be the next character, and when I saw this, I was extra hyped because I love having fighting game characters in Smash Brothers. But because I'm good at them, so biased opinion. But yeah, they're going to be the next character. He looks like he has like his devil mode that he can go into mid combat. That seems cool. I don't want to dwell too much on it because talking about it isn't as good as watching the video.
Yeah. Definitely go check it out. It seemed like because after they premiered them, they went to his moves list. So it seems like
they do all that
of
whole
his
stuff.
Tekken moves list, but I love that he starts it off yeeting Ganon into a volcano. I was like, what?
When that happened. When that happened, I was like, oh, wow. It's like, oh, we throwing people into volcanoes? I'm like, what is this, Tekken? And then it zooms out. And I'm like, it is Tekken. Oh, man. It was fantastic. And I was like, this is great. And like then through the rest of the trailer, he's like just casually like chucking other Smash Brothers characters into the volcano.
I like that when he does Kirby, he's just peering over the edge. It's the only one he's actually concerned. He's like, because it's true. It's true.
Kirby is the strongest character in Smash. Not from a gameplay perspective necessarily, but like from a lore perspective.
Oh man.
Oh geez. So I have like a bunch of notes. I'm just gonna mention some of them in passing because all it is like, yo, this game's coming out. Mm-hmm. It's a real short thing, and I don't want to. We have tons of stuff to get through because E3. So I'm just gonna blast through a couple of these with some names and some dates and maybe a brief comment. But we got things that are coming to the Switch. Worms Rumble. If you've ever played like the old Worms computer games or when they later came to consoles, it's that. This one looks like it's more like live action, so looks like a lot of fun. One of my major ones, which I wrote in all caps, was we're getting goddamn Monkey Ball on the Switch. I was so excited. So like the only Monkey Ball game that we have on the Switch, I think, is called Banana Blitz, and it is the worst Monkey Ball game I've ever played. And my comment has been over and over, all I want is just classic Monkey Ball on the Switch, and that's exactly what we're getting. It's the 20th anniversary of Monkey Ball. By the looks of it, this is like a Monkey Ball mega pack where we're getting Super Monkey Ball 2, and a bunch of other Monkey Ball games that have come out in between that are all. They look, by the looks of it, it looks like they're all being packaged together in this Monkey Ball game that's coming out on October 5th. So super excited about that. We're getting a new Mario Party game, which has online play. Praise the sun. Which is coming out on October. Right? That's coming out on October 29th. That one allows you to pause games online that you're playing with friends, so you can come back to it later. They're pulling in some of the old maps from old Mario Party games, which looks to be pretty dope.
Initially said 5 N64 maps, but
yep.
But there will probably be more coming down the pipe once they do that. So yeah.
Yep. We have a new Monster Hunter game, Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is coming out. When I initially saw it, I'm like, Monster Hunter game? Y'all just came out with a Monster Hunter game. But this one is like a lot, it's a very similar art style. It's, by my definition, cuter than, slightly cuter, maybe softer art than the traditional Monster Hunter games, especially the one that came out recently. But this one's also going to be turn-based combat. And it looks like it has like some Pokemon / Digimon element to it, wherein you can get a baby monster and raise it and like fight alongside it in combat and that kind of stuff. And it still has all the Monster Hunter mechanics where you're making armor and weapons and stuff out of enemies that you defeat and all that stuff. So looks pretty interesting. I don't know if they announced a date for that. If they did, I didn't catch it. But more Monster Hunter content. I'm excited. I love the Monster Hunter world.
Also don't have it on mine. Yeah.
Okay, maybe they didn't announce that. Then we got a new WarioWare game called Get It Together. There's not much. I mean, they have like a decent little trailer that shows you stuff. If you played any Wario game before, it looks to be more content for WarioWare. That one's coming out September 10th. Not much more beyond that I have there. There's a new horror game coming out. Don't have much beyond the name, but it's called Fatal Frame.
Yeah, Fatal Frame's a series as old as like the Silent Hill.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not a big horror game person, so for me, I'm like, this could be a brand new title. I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm excited about it. I need to check the gameplay video again. It seemed like you were able to move your Switch around for some of the camera modes there, where you like would move it to like, because you're in that universe, cameras
take pictures
and
or whatever
objects can help you see some of the entities. So I'm like, yeah, I expect this.
Oh, it's that game. Okay. Yeah, I'm vaguely familiar with it. I haven't played it because I'm a baby who doesn't play a lot of horror games. Let me see. We got a new Mario and Raving Rabbids game called Sparks of Hope that's coming out. And this one, a major differentiator, looks at it's a little bit less like the turn-based XCOM style combat that you're used to from the other Mario plus Rabbids game. In this one, you're allowed to like move around more freely, which they mentioned in the video gives you like more dynamic options for strategies and stuff like that. So that looks pretty good. I really enjoyed the first Mario plus Rabbids game that was on the Switch, or maybe not the first, but the one that was on the Switch. So I look forward to checking out this one as well. I don't think there's a date on that one either.
That I have to admit I was prejudiced to it because I was like, this looks.
I was too. I thought it was dumb, but it's actually really fun. Let me see. Oh, this one I was real excited about. There's a Advanced Wars remaster called Advanced Wars 1+2 Reboot Camp. It's basically just a remaster by the looks of it, it's just a remaster of Advanced Wars 1 and 2 coming to the Switch. Like, many a time on the show, like we're just like, all I want from them to do is just remake this game and put it on the Switch, and that's exactly what we're getting with this, and I'm excited about it.
And I'm glad they're going to that DS. Well, actually, that came out on Advance first, didn't it?
Yeah, yep, that was Game Boy Advance.
There's a whole slew of Advance games they could.
Let me see. I think that's all the little hit stuff I wanted to touch on for the Switch. So all the other big stuff I think we have on here, and big stuff being the Shin Megami Tensei for one,
Yeah.
and then Legend of Zelda stuff.
So for folks that don't know why this is a big deal, as much as I like the Persona series, and actually when I was watching this, people were like, "Oh, another Persona game." I'm like, this is the main franchise. This is where the spin-offs come from. You hush that up. Right
People
now.
don't often know that the full name of Persona is Shin Megami Tensei Persona blah 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 blah.
It's like look at the box art. Unless I think Persona 5's, I think Persona 4 might have been the first one that started kind of leaving it off there.
Distancing, yeah, and that's not a problem, but that's why folks tend to not realize that they are in the same universe.
Yeah, and not to mention then when they started doing Persona like 4 and 5, then they have all those FE remixes and the different battle arena stuff after that. So then you'd be saying Shin Megami Tensei Persona 4 battle like just, yeah. But yeah, it brings it back to the I don't want to. I guess main universe is a good way to describe it. Definitely in that Nocturne Digital Devil Saga style and aesthetic, and that alternate Tokyo underworld. And I'm you were talking about Pokemon mixing up. They were showing the different demons that you can recruit to your team, and then potentially have some like Digimon fusion things going on between the demons. I was sold. I'm like, yeah. I'm in. I'm in. And it's a Switch exclusive. I'm kind of kicking myself because I just bought Nocturne Remaster on PS4 because I've usually played these on PlayStation. And it seems like they're kind of steadily making that shift to Nintendo. So I'm kind of curious, is it like just a timed exclusive on Nintendo Switch, or if it's going to continue to be, or will they eventually, is it going to actually just stay on Nintendo? So I'm kind of curious.
I would wager it's probably just a timed exclusive. They did that with like Outer Worlds and a couple of other games as well, where it's like you get exclusivity for like the first year or 6 months or something like that, and then it comes out on other stuff.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, yeah, I'm excited. I think it leans more credence to when you, me, and Jerry were talking before when we learned that we were even going to get the Nocturne remaster. I think if this continues to go well, I'm hoping we get more. If 5 does well, I'm hoping they'll go back and get some of those other PS2 games and bring them up, because if you try to buy those right now, it is stupid. It is dumb how much they cost, and I would love a cheaper, modern way to play those. They're really solid JRPGs. I think they're some of the best examples of like modern JRPGs.
I would agree. Big time. Well, hold up, I had another point. Oh yeah, so because this will kind of dance us out of the Nintendo realm specifically, Legend of Zelda content. So we have a little more of an announcement trailer that the Hyrule Warriors DLC is on the horizon. I don't think they went into that too much in terms of like contextually what you're going to get, but given that it's a Hyrule Warriors game, like it's going to be more battles.
Yeah, so it's more battles.
That's what you're going to get.
They list, I apologize if we don't have a still of that. They did show a photo of like, there's 2 releases, one coming in rather soon and one a little bit later, either toward the end of the year or towards the start of next year. But it had additional character packs, and then weapons was the biggest one that stood out to me.
Oh yeah.
A lot more. There's different weapons they can use with the DLC.
So yeah, we have some stuff coming up with that, and then we also got some actual footage or new, I guess you call it a new trailer for Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild 2.
Yeah, and if you've not finished Breath of the Wild, which a lot of people haven't, or just you got distracted by the open world. I know.
Yeah.
But you do need to go finish that story, because this is one of the not one of the first, because definitely Ocarina of Time kind of continues after, Majora's Mask kind of continues after Ocarina of Time, but it's still that's even loose. That's even me saying that's a little loose because how the timeline works, and when they officially gave out that timeline map, it's like, what? What is going on?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, but yes, direct sequel.
Looking all over.
Link. The one thing I'll say if you've not finished Breath of the Wild is that Link looks he's like he took some damage from that final fight in Breath of the Wild. Like it definitely shows that sleeve and his arm has been affected by the calamity, and it's definitely air based. So I said that on stream for folks that probably could, again, if you weren't watching along, I know you couldn't see it on our screen because we couldn't share it. So I said that, and you probably think, oh, he's just hang gliding more? What do you mean? I'm like, no, there's like shit in the air. It's almost like Northern Air Temple stuff, and like Avatar, like just all over the place.
Yeah, I won't get into the lore / fan theories, but there's like theories around of like, oh, like Breath of the Wild and Skyward Sword are a lot more connected than people think that they are, and based off of some of these screenshots, it seems like maybe they might be. So if you're interested, go check out an elaborate YouTube video that's probably longer than you want it to be that explains the entirety of the fan theories and why they think that. But it's interesting stuff. Any other Nintendo specific stuff you want to hit on, Kenny?
No, I said this on stream, or I guess my last thing is I said this on streams that I really thought they were going to do more for the anniversaries for Zelda.
So I guess that is one more thing. So for the Zelda anniversary, they're releasing a Game & Watch with Zelda 1, 2,
and Link's Awakening.
Link's Awakening, and a Game & Watch special of
Vermin.
I can't.
So
Vermin? That's
like,
it. Vermin, where you can play as
Link
like instead of Game & Watch. Yeah, it's the Whack-A-Mole game.
Yeah.
And as someone who played like the Game & Watch games on Game Boy Color as a kid, like I understand like they're really that those are actually legitimately like fun games. So like it's really hard for me to like tilt my nose up whenever they're like Game & Watch, but like it's a legitimately fun game. But I want more than just a Game & Watch of games I already have that have been released to me for every anniversary almost. Yeah.
I mean, I felt like this would have been a perfect time to hear that. Hey, we're bringing out Ocarina of Time Majora's Mask HD remaster on over, and
that'd be sick.
Because they did it for Mario, but I don't know.
Yeah.
That feels. it's not a bad.
It's not bad. It's just I'm just greedy, and I want more.
And to be fair, maybe when we get to the 40-year anniversaries of some of these games, or like the big O or the big 0 numbered anniversaries, that's when I'll do bigger, because that will give it.
Don't nobody care about fives. and I think you might be right, because to be fair, I feel like a HD remaster of Majora's Mask or Ocarina of Time is a much more momentous thing. That even though it is like a remake or a remaster, probably a remake, I feel like if they do it, they're gonna do a remake. I don't think they're just gonna be like, yo, we smoothed out the polygons and up the graphics. Here you go. Like I feel like they're gonna do it big, and they're gonna be like, we're basically just redoing this game all over again, and here it is. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Other game studios?
So this is going to be it might be a little back and forth in these next couple ones. I am excited for Elden Ring.
Yeah, big time. What is it? It's
From Software, George R.R. Martin.
George R.R. Martin, and is it? I can't remember who it is. It's a popular Japanese filmmaker, but I'm blanking on the name, and I know exactly who it is.
Let's see, I'll pull it up for us.
Because it's right there in the trailer, and I was like, what? I was like, the cinematography on this is going to be amazing.
Miyazaki.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. It was Miyazaki.
But which
Yeah, like
is
this. It's bonkers. That's such a weird combo, but like I feel like it'll work so well.
oh sorry. So actually, to be clear, no, no. So it's just Hatatake Miyazaki for like so having done the Souls, Bloodborne, Sekiro, like in that
Oh,
vein.
okay.
Um,
Other Miyazaki.
so I think they've just been putting his name out a lot. I don't think. I'm trying to see. I don't
That makes
think any of
sense
the
because
directors.
it does have the Souls vibe. Because
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it is maybe in the same universe. I don't know, but I don't know.
Yeah, I
Probably
don't.
not.
That's a
It
good
could
question.
be. It could be.
You know.
But yeah, it looks cool. We didn't really get like, well, as far as I could tell, like maybe some of that was real gameplay, maybe, maybe it was cutscenes. I don't know. But it looks good. I mean, I like Souls games, so I'm gonna play more Souls games. I just got all the achievements in Dark Souls 3 because I was sitting on my hands for the Get All Rings achievement for a while. But you know, dedicated.
Dedicated.
Um,
Yeah, it looks. We shall see. I'm just
yeah, I
curious
think
what
that one
the.
comes out end of this year, like December, something like that.
Let me double check. Early next year, so January
Oh,
21st, 2022.
okay, okay.
So like right after the holiday season this year. So close.
Mm.
Yeah, not gonna have to wait too long for that. Um, yeah, I guess I just this is not a knock on the game. It's just for anything
Hmm.
that's Souls related. Like I want to play it, but there's just not this excitement. It's not. It's sort of. I really don't want people to take that as a slight on the games. It's just that's how I internalize playing these games.
Hmm.
Is that I have made the internal dread more than it needs to be. Even though I've gotten way more comfortable playing them, and I'm generally
Hmm.
starting to figure out things I need to do to be better at them. It's still just like this, like, ugh. Oh, another one. No.
I understand, but my friends, my Discord squad, and I tend to play a lot of Souls-like games. So right now everybody's playing what is it, Code Vein, which is
Oh,
basically anime Dark Souls.
for sure.
So yeah, I get the vibe. Looking at Square Enix, we got a couple of things. One that I thought was neat is that the Final Fantasies, I think it's 1 through 6, are getting pixelated up remasters. Um,
Yeah.
that's neat. That's cool. Um,
I mean,
moving on from that.
having one home for those, I guess to be actually be honest though, having one home for those would be nice because you kind of have to own multiple copies of stuff to be able to play that. Or if you're on PC, it's easier. You can just have that. But if you're on console trying to play that, like
True.
you had to have to rebuy it on the PlayStation Store and a bunch of So I actually do welcome that for the older games.
Um, then I like your comment for this one. Guardians of the Galaxy. It looks dope, but it's Square Enix, so yeah. When I was looking at Guardians of the Galaxy, I was like, oh, is this just like an update that you didn't announce for Avengers? And then like as I'm looking at it, I'm like, is it an update you didn't announce for Avengers? And then because Avengers did badly, you just pivoted it into its own game.
Oh.
Maybe.
Oh. God, I hope that's not it. I
I
mean,
don't know.
it and because I came into that trailer late,
Hmm.
I was like, then I was watching, I was like, oh god, please don't be Square Enix, please don't be Square Enix, and then I was like, because everything I saw of it, I liked. I have to admit, at
Hmm.
least the trailer is good. The trailer's fun. It's got the feel of the comic Guardians and a good vibe of the movie Guardians. They're not trying to look exactly like the movie Guardians, which I want to do a longer thing about the Avengers where I'm like, I feel like because we've had 10 years of the MCU, your character models that you did for Avengers were always going to hurt. There was always just going to be,
Hmm.
it was always going to hurt you.
Yeah.
But I don't feel that way about this Guardians crew. Like, I legitimately like these character models. I was like, okay, it's not the Chris Pratts, it's always Adanias, like, cool. But
Yeah.
they look good.
They look decent. When I saw it, I was like, "Oh, here we go with more great value of the cinematic characters we know from the movies." But yeah, it looks decent. It looks decent. It looks
But
decent.
yeah, so until they prove otherwise, there's still just going to be that lingering doubt. The Stranger of Paradise Final Fantasy Origins trailer sure is concerned with chaos, and they have to kill chaos, and I must make sure that I destroy chaos. That's very, very apparent from the dialogue. I guess I shouldn't be surprised for a Final Fantasy trailer to be nonsensical and have no idea what the hell they're talking about. Uh, Now they did announce when that came out that there was a demo available for you to play, and a lot of people weren't able to because it was corrupted. If you try to download it
Oops.
on the PlayStation Store, it told you that it was corrupted. Apparently that has been fixed over the weekend, so you should be able to try out the game now. And
Nice.
it is kind of continuing this flowing action combat that we've seen from Final Fantasy VII Remake and from Final Fantasy 15. Yeah, 15 from 15,
Mm.
where it's not, really gone away from the turn-based.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of the Avengers stuff, we also got a trailer for the War of Wakanda DLC that's coming out. I believe in their catalog of DLC that they have announced, it's the last one. It it looks pretty good. Like the story components of the writing for the game has always been kind of discussed amongst the community as being one of its stronger points of like the story and the end of character, progression gameplay is where the game actually has some quality. So I'm not really concerned of whether or not like it's going to be good or going to be bad or whatever, because the story writer was supposed is pretty solid from what fans say. Will anybody be playing the game by the time the DLC comes out to care? Eh. But I mean, I don't care. I'm still gonna be watching the Steam data pretty closely to see how many folks are playing. If maybe it'll be really, really, really good, and it'll be like just the last thing that they need for the game to really hit its stride, and maybe it'll become probably not popular but decent again. And that would be good for them.
We can only hope.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, yeah, and the last things are, one is, I guess, is a dig at EA, with Battlefield 2042, because that trailer was bonkers. There was tornadoes.
Mhm.
They made it, and it definitely seems like in some way that the sandstorms that you're dealing with and like the environmental effects are kind of having this Fortnite storm effect that starts closing in the battlefield. And if you actually get 128 characters on the field at a time, I doubt we'll actually see that. But let's just yeah, because they've been promising large. I mean, I love Battlefield, but y'all been promising large scale player battles for a long time, and that's just not.
Maybe in 200 years where everybody has baller internet. But like, nah, this is probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, and prove me wrong. I would love to. I would love to see that. I know people that run their own personal server stuff for the PC Battlefield stuff might have your mileage may vary. If you set
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you set
that's
your
true.
own
That's
stuff up.
true.
So that should be caveated. But
It's like if you're rocking 100 up and 100 down, you'll be fine.
and then I would. I'm not a. Or sorry, I like Rainbow Six. I really like the Vegas series. So when Rainbow Six Vegas came out on the Xbox 360, loved that. Was a big fan of that. And then variants of games is not a new thing. So you think about the zombie series and stuff that have come out in the Call of Duty and different things like that. I found it interesting that they're gonna take the Rainbow Six model, throw an extraterrestrial alien element to it of like, hey, there's this organic material, or there's this thing that changes everyone into like the alien that we're fighting, and throw that into like a legit Rainbow Six model, and that's the whole game. Not just like not just a mode, not just a little extra storyline on like a Call of Duty 5 or whatever. It's like, no, this is it. This is legit. I'm like, okay,
We're going with it.
I'm kind of down. All right, and actually,
And then Rainbow Six turned into Gears of War.
and yeah, the gameplay trailer I thought was also. Now, actually, I'm just showing you the story trailer right now, but they have released all the different operator traits and little trailers for that to show you what's going to happen, and there's more gameplay trailers as well available for you to check out. So I'm actually, will I get it day one? Probably not. But yeah, I'm a little more excited about this than because if you played Siege is fun, but I kind of got tired of it pretty quickly, and I'm like, I'm not buying all these packs to enjoy this game.
Nope.
I guess as much excitement as I just told you, I am concerned that in order to be good, that you're going to have to buy a lot of packs in order to be successful. So maybe the campaign will be bonkers, and I'll really enjoy that. Cool. All right.
Alrighty. Well, that brings us to the end of at least this leg of our E3 discussion. There's still, it's Tuesday. There's still probably a couple more things that'll be spoken about the Switch. Maybe we'll probably touch on some of those maybe next week if anything bonkers happens. But it's getting late in the day, so probably not.
I forgot. There's one video I tried to load that didn't come up here. It was Somerville. Mm-hmm. It's like a sci-fi horror thriller coming out on the Xbox, where it's this guy. You're playing a father trying to protect his family and it's in this very like isometric 2D 3D setup, where it's like kind of fixed camera on a 3D space, which looks really cool. Toward the end of it, it starts really getting bonkers. Like to go check that one out. I will play Replaced super quick, which is like this. It's kind of got a cyberpunk-esque feel, but it's also another like 2D side scroller with a lot of that 3D move around in the space. So you're not set to a flat perspective. There might be some times where it moves around your character. So I've got that playing on the screen right now. But the cool effect is that even though the environments are like different, like 3D environments, your character still looks sort of like a really well-defined 2D, or it's like a 1632-bit sprite. And really kind of like if you played Hyper Light Drifter, anything like that, it kind of got some, at least the characters has similar art styles, even though the things around them look a little more like, it's like, oh, that looks like some of a real-world environments. It's like, yeah. Actually, the shot that's on screen right now, you see the character kind of walking around this train yard, and just kind of solemn trees, just gas station, and a car there. So I'm excited. I think it'd be really cool. Yeah, those are the last two that I don't think I got them in the notes there at the end, but
it's all good.
So Somerville and Replaced.
So yeah, what's going down on Nerd Union this week? We got the Commander Shipp show tomorrow at 8 p.m. CST with Commander Shipp and Major Tom. What do y'all be talking about this week, Kenny?
We got a lot of movies we're gonna at least cover the first half of the summer blockbusters that have come out. Just kind of get a pulse on where the industry is. And then we got some other. There's a lot of announcements we didn't get to today because again we wanted to save it for our Commander Shipp and just today, so we'll get to that as well. Some other castings, and I don't know if I'm going to do Super Blurred this week because we're kind of pushed back Red Shirt Rejects. So this week on Red Shirt Rejects we'll be talking Star Trek Generations. But if I do Super Blurred this week, or if I do it on the weekend, there's a lot of colorism issues I mentioned a little bit. I teased that a little bit for In the Heights. Mm-hmm. And we talked about it with another show on the Quorum, another like the Shadow and Bone. So I'm writing on that. That might be the topic for Super Blurred if I have time. If not, it'll happen next week. So we're working on that.
All right. And then we have on Friday the rundown with Taryn Bell reporting and yours, Kenny, truly producing. We want to give a special thanks to our Patreon supporters because we appreciate y'all's monthly contributions and they help us run these awesome live shows and supports our upcoming video series. I want to give a shout out to Doug Schumann, Vici, Shelby Johnson, Nell Cherry.
Yeah. Thank you all for that. This has been State and Nerd Union. We're signing off. We'll see you back on our regular time next Monday.